Has the Final Fantasy IX remake been canceled?
You serious?
Well, with that said, I posed that question because things are being a little funky and interesting at Square Enix these days, and I'm pretty sure some of you can kind of guess what's going on, especially by, what we'll be talking about today, which is, how Square Enix has confirmed its canceled games, which, what does it say here? Don't fit with its new development strategy? What's that about? So, on this video today, we're going to talk about what that exactly kind of entails of, and it's not really transparent on what kind of games we're talking about, but we're going to do our best to dive into this. So, hello, welcome, I'm NikoTheLegend, also known as the well-mannered teenager, snowflake, rambling idiot, and vigil, and hit that subscribe button when it's all said and done.
You serious?
So, with that said, Square Enix is going multi-platform, ladies and gentlemen, and not only that, they are also they're taking a huge financial loss. They're taking a huge hit, and the biggest financial hit, or close to it, however way you want to describe it, is canceling their upcoming HD projects or just games coming soon that don't fit their reboot 3-year plan, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of going multi-platform and ensuring quality games. So when they mean quality games, what do they mean by that, honestly? What are you trying to tell me? That your AAA games that you've been releasing for the past few years, maybe decade, shit, even longer, who knows? You can make the argument that Square Enix hasn't been really a decent company for the longest time. But, that's subjective, right? Or we can go with the financial profits here, but Square Enix has been doing a lot of the blame game on its Final Fantasy games, on its third-party games, and it's let go of this company, let go of that company. This game didn't meet the financial needs that it wanted it to make, and this is exclusive for a bit, and yeah, we're thinking it's gonna really hit everything out of the park, but turns out it has not. So why? Fucking why has this been happening for Square Enix? Well, if you've been paying really close attention, Square Enix hasn't been really making anything. Well, in my humble opinion, okay? You can like it, that's fine. I don't think that needs to be said any clearer. But from Square Enix's perspective, they haven't been making quality. Maybe that's because the consumers don't like what Square Enix has been releasing. I mean, how many Final Fantasy games do you have to release in the last 5 years? Final Fantasy mobile games, Final Fantasy remakes, Final Fantasy HD projects, things that haven't come out yet, Final Fantasy 14 stuff. It's a lot of Final Fantasy 16. It's a lot of Final Fantasy games. And let's not forget that they've been releasing a lot of older games or new games that we've never heard about, like AA Square Enix games. In the past couple years, there's just lists and lists of games they've released in the past 5 years, and it's pretty crazy.
You serious?
So, on one hand, I blame it on them for going so far into the pit of no return by making all these games, but on the other hand, well, I don't know, they were too nice, too forgiving, I don't know. It's kind of a mess. But what does that mean for Final Fantasy IX Remake? Does that mean, we're getting to the grit here, nitty gritty, does that mean that this game is canceled as well? Maybe this is why we haven't heard anything about it from Square, because they canceled these games long ago or recently. Same thing with the TV show. I don't know. Nobody fucking knows. Besides the Nvidia leak and rumors and hearsay, blah, 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 right? All we got is that. That's all we got. So, I don't know. It's a safe bet that the 9 remake has been canceled. Maybe the Dragon Quest III each HD remake has been canceled. So on and so forth. And that sucks for a lot of people who are waiting for these games. Me personally, I'm kind of glad. Now, this is crazy to say, right? Ooh, edgy. But I'm actually, hot take. I'm actually glad. I would be glad if the 9 remake got canceled, because I don't think that game needs to be touched or dabbled with. I think it's aged perfectly well. And I can enjoy it still to the fullest capacity as I did back in the year 2000 and all its greatness and joyful moments in the game. The TV show, on the other hand, I would like that to be a thing still, but who knows? That might have got canceled altogether with the remake, you know? Because they were probably trying to go big with this. Nobody knows, and probably won't know for a while. But it's interesting that, like, with that said, the other part of it is the quality games type of thing. You know, when they say things like this, let's look at this. Let's see. Project by project review of continued development feasibility found these particular efforts to be incompatible with the group's revised approach to development of HD games. Okay, so that's the canceled games, which reflects such objectives as multi-platform development and the strengthening of internal development capabilities. Okay, so you had a lot of duds that didn't make you sell you platinum records, you know what I'm saying, or get you Game of the Year awards or whatever you want to call it. But there's still things to admire about that. You know, they done this in the past. They wanted to experiment with things here and there, and they gave these third-party companies a chance. Which is cool. You know, we want these, you know, these big publishers to give these little guys a chance. But it's so interesting when they had these games that are made in-house and like Final Fantasy 16, 14, Rebirth, or whatever, they're not reaching the financial sales that they want to reach, and it's rethinking their whole strategy. I mean, to be honest, they've had a lot of AAA duds like Marvel's Avengers and Forsaken. God, those things I hope we never have to think about ever again because they were complete shit.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind!
This is what happens when they put all their chips in. Either third party or in-house. They can't seem to find their stride. And Final Fantasy is just not doing it for them anymore. It's just not. Now, releasing games on multi-platform, I don't know what that's going to do for you when the games themselves, when consumers don't want to play what you're releasing. You know, Final Fantasy VII, your golden goose for pooping out Final Fantasy VII products, it's not doing it for you guys anymore. And obviously you see that because you're panicking, going crazy. When you have a 70% profit drop, whatever, from the past year, wow, that's a lot. That's a fucking shit ton. That's insane. So with all that said and done, it's what can Square Enix do? How can they keep these Final Fantasy IX remake projects, which I am curious, and it'd probably be curiosity to kill the cat here, but it would be nice to see how they would have done it, because from what the rumors tell us about the 9 project is that it's retaining a great, charming graphic style, still turn-based JRPG, and it's not going to be this full-blown remake that 7 got in recent years. So it would have been interesting to see kind of like a hybrid mix, but we're having this discussion now to kind of wonder what the fuck happened to it, and should we be worried? But I don't know, like I said before, I'm okay with it being canceled, because don't touch it. Don't fix what isn't broken. I don't care if you don't like the hot and cold game or the Tetra card game or the trance system, whatever nitpicks people have about it. Leave it alone. Let it be. Every Final Fantasy game has its own weird gimmick that doesn't work, you know, like the draw system for Final Fantasy VIII. That, you know, pushed a lot of people away, right? Okay, so it did that. Big deal. It's in that game. Let it be, because there's plenty of people that love Final Fantasy VIII. And that's how it's going to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this new shift in Square Enix's new policy and reboot, rework plan? It sounds like they're very, very aggressively pushing this new approach to their games and assuring quality. It's just an insult, though, to the people that really, really went in there to pour their heart and soul into these projects, and Square Enix doesn't consider them actual quality. But who knows what's truly happening behind closed Square Enix doors. Yeah, they're calling it Square Enix Reboots and Awakens. The publisher highlights a number of ways it plans to deliver higher quality games and make more players happy. What is this whole thing with trying to make everybody happy? See, I truly, not to go on a little tangent or rant here, but I'll do that and then we'll end it here. I truly hate it when companies try to appeal to everybody in the gaming space. There's a reason why a certain amount of people like Final Fantasy games. There's a reason why there's a huge cult following for before Elden Ring came out with the Soulsborne games, right? Had your niche gamers that they stayed in their own circle and they talked about their own stuff, their own groups and stuff, and then they could share tales and then share it with everybody else. Hey, you should try this game, and if it's not for everybody, it's not for everybody. What's the big deal? It's like making a racing game for everybody. I don't care two shits about racing games, but I like Mario Kart because that's something I could live with, right? But I'm not going to try to force everybody to like a racing game if I like it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that they're doing that. But at the same time, I would appreciate different ways of playing your game if they're full-blown exclusives, because, whatever, sharing is caring, but don't be so aggressive about it. Don't try to appeal to all the mass audience. Just let it be what it is, and then if people pick it up and they like it, then they like it. If they don't, they don't. So that's what I have a problem with. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that the 9 remake project is canceled. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, content abandonment losses. That's the coin phrase there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know down in the comments below how you feel about Square Enix's current or new plan that they're developing or already been doing it. What games do you fear that got canceled by this recent development, and what games do you hope to see still come out? How are you feeling truly about the quality of games that Square Enix has been releasing, and hearing it from the horse's mouth that that it's not quality? Anyway, let me know down in the comments below. I've been your host, NikoTheLegend. I hope you did enjoy, and you know what? We will only see in the coming months if the 9 remake project has been canceled. Anyway, Pathfinders, take care.